Hello everyone, I'm back at my house today for a sort of a checking of all the carpentry that has been installed. So the carpentry had been installed over the last few weeks and there were actually a lot of problems. I mean, maybe not everyone will consider it a problem, but I do and my family does. So I'm going to talk about that. It's one of the reasons why. Okay, actually, honestly, today's topic was gonna be about why I regret choosing my ID. So I guess it's an ID pitfalls of choosing an ID or a contractor. I actually shot this topic like at some point. I'm just gonna sit down because otherwise I think the camera will shake a lot. Oh yeah, okay, don't wanna. Never mind, I'll just stand. So actually, you can sit here if it's not dirty. Okay, so I'm just gonna sit here and talk for a while. To see what okay lah, you see my mom's wardrobes lah. Okay, so actually I already shot this topic about how to choose an ID and everything, but then I'm gonna reshoot it because I've come up with like a lot more reasons about why I regret choosing my ID. So the pitfalls lah, things, and I think this is gonna be like quite useful because it is things that it never occurred to me to consider. So I hope that this video will be helpful for you. And I think I will keep this video a bit short lah. Or okay, never mind lah, shoot long lah, never mind, just watch. And of course, I will reveal who my ID is at the end. Like I said, anyway, my channel is totally not popular. I'm not afraid of naming and shaming and blaming the ID who did this to me. And I think you need to know. And it's not that I'm going to, I don't think I'm a very horrible or malicious person. This is just my honest review. I mean, if the ID have the right attitude, they should take it into consideration lah. Because it's improvement. If you can improve and you can get better business because you are good and because you learn from your so-called mistakes, then you have a bright future. Because good IDs are not difficult to come by. Good IDs are quite difficult to come by. Very sad to see all the recent or all the people who are, with the ID who take the money and run. And with even people saying case trust is also not a surefire thing. I've seen people comment online, if you open a case, if you take case trust also, it's another case for your ID, something like it's not a guarantee actually, because opening a civil suit or opening a case against your ID is also going to be a lot of time and effort, right? So I have not heard amazing reviews either about case trust renovation contractors. So okay, let me just get into it. So the first thing is, I'm just going to touch on this topic very quickly because I think it has been debated to death about the ID versus contractor thing, but I'm going to give you my own spin on this. Personally, I found that there is not much difference whether you take an ID or a contractor. Of course, there will be some people who will call themselves IDs and maybe charge you a lot higher, and then they will say that, oh, their value add is because of they give you inputs on the design and whatnot lah. But honestly speaking, there are plenty of people who sell themselves as direct contractors or main contractors or general contractors, and they will still do it for you. They can even give you 3D drawing, everything. So it's not necessary that contractor is that much cheaper, because I've gotten quotes from people who called themselves contractors, people who called themselves ID, and it actually runs in around the same range. I don't really see much of a difference in the cost. Yes, of course there are some who charge very high. I like to call these the influencer contractors lah. No value one. But then not to take those lah, because the quote is really not very fair. But most reasonable quotes, right? Most quotes are actually going to be more or less there, because I have lost count of how many quotes I have gotten. So I think most you just go. You don't need to like confuse yourself, because you go for someone who calls themselves a contractor, you'll be surprised. The quote can still be very high, So the only way, if you ask me, if you really want to see a difference in the cost, is if you get like those like super apid main con. So no website presence, that kind of thing. But this one need to be word of mouth one, because it will be very hard for you to evaluate whether they can deliver a good job or not. So if there's someone who give you a good contact by word of mouth and cheap, look at the work. If you are happy, then you get that person lor. So what I mean is that the only way to really save money on this is to take really direct. So that means everything they do themselves without sourcing out to a middleman. So if you are very familiar, okay, like this one I will echo everyone else. If you are familiar with the sequence and you really want to save money, you can go and hire your own vendor. So that means your own electrician, your own plumber, your own hacker, your own tiler. Maybe you could also get those like engineering firms, because initially I was going to do engineering firm, like to do like patch up of the wall and the hacking and all that. So those will come in also considerably cheaper, and they will not even sell themselves as an ID or even a contractor. Sometimes they will just call themselves engineering firms. Can find also, it's possible. So but for that kind of thing lah, the project management definitely will have to be done by you lah. So if you get a so-called a main con who will still do the PM for you and will still do 3D for you, I don't think the cost saving is going to be that much lower than average, if any savings at all. Okay, so yeah, on that note lah, honestly speaking, get from word of mouth is better. The reason that I didn't was because none of my cousins recommended their contractors to me. So that's why I tell you, it's actually very difficult to find someone who is good. Like, okay lah, their house is okay lor, but they will be like, I don't recommend. I did not, like they will tell me that their experience was not a good one. And you know what? I joined them 100% in this. Despite my ID being like a very high, positive, a lot of positive reviews. Cannot even find a negative review, on like Home Trust, Canvas, all this perfect score. I have a lot of complaints, and I feel so angry at myself, because I think I let the reviews and I let what people tell me influence me. I should have never trusted them in the first place. Okay, so just saying lah, if you can find someone from word of mouth. Okay, I don't know whether my delivery is here. Hang on